Pretty good start right there. He's not going far. That's the main thing. Hey, today I'm out here. I'm gonna do a little bit of shooting. One thing that we get a ton of messages about is how you shoot a traditional bow. Anything from the setup to shooting or whatever it is, we get a ton of questions about it. So I figured I'd make a video to help some people out. That's what we're about here at the Stickboys, whether it's on the YouTube or the podcast side, whatever it is, we're trying to help folks get into this thing, help out with the bow hunting. And whether you are brand new to hunting or whether you're somebody that's coming from the crossbow or compound world, whatever it is, we want to help out all we can. I'm gonna go through these targets today. I got a couple hours to kill here, and I'm gonna go through. There's several targets set up here, a local archery range that stay out all year. So I'm gonna go through, make killing shots on all of them, I hope, and try to show you a little bit about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and then how, you know, that translates to the whitetail woods. So the first thing I know I'm gonna get asked is, what's your equipment? What's your setup? That literally every video, there is never a video that drops that question isn't asked. So we'll go over that. This is an Omega Royal Huntsman. It's a Dynalux riser. I think in walnut. I like Dynalux because it's a super heavy mass weight bow. The wood is very, very, very heavy. So I like that. It's 64 inches. It's 44 pounds at 28. I draw just over that. So it's probably just a little bit heavier than that. Has a 10-ring string on it. I've shot Allen Schaefer string for a really long time. They're really good strings. I like them a lot. And I'm not somebody that changes things. So, you know, what you see here is what I've shot for several years. The Huntsman itself, Kagan, I've shot his bows for the last, I guess, 14 years now. He has perfected, in my opinion, this model, and it's pretty much been the same through 14 years. There's been little variations, and he's made little tweaks as he's went, but he's offered this one-piece longbow very similar to this for a long time, and that's what I've shot. It's what I'm used to, and I don't shoot anything else better than that, so that's what I stick with. Again, I'm somebody that's simple. I don't like changing things if I don't have to. Shot Day 6 arrows for a really long time, these HD 500s. I have shot their 100-grain stainless insert-outsert for several years. I really like the weight. I really like the penetration that I get with it. Shoot their Evo XLs most of the time. This year, I'm gonna do something just a little bit different, and I'm gonna maybe drop down to 125 grains. We're gonna see how it works out. That's what I'm testing out and playing with today, just for a little bit flatter trajectory. I'm somebody that likes to shoot instinctive, so the longer I can just pick a spot and pull through, the better I'm gonna be as a bow hunter. So just something I'm playing with, see how it turns out. As always, I like 4-fletch. I see all white the best, so that's kind of what I've went to the last couple years. I've just stripped everything down and went to white because I can't see anything else. So in the editing process, I realized that we had some audio issues with this part of the video where I was describing my process. So I'm gonna do that here in maybe a little bit more of a controlled environment. So I consider myself an instinctive shooter, whereas that my focus is staying on what I wanna shoot the entire time. Now I realize that there's that sometimes can be a controversial subject and people get really tore up about particulars. I'm not that kind of guy, and I'm not interested in going down that rabbit hole. Well, all I know is that I am focused solely on what I want to hit the entire time. If it's a live animal, it can be a single hair, it can be a tuft of hair, it can be a crease, it can be much anything, really anything that's on that animal that I'm trying to take, and my brain is going to hold in and focus on that very, very, very small spot. The biggest bugaboo, or the biggest thing I have to focus on, is not shooting at the entire deer, but to shoot at a very tiny spot. So my process looks like this. No matter whether I'm in a tree stand or on the ground, I am going to get that spot no matter what. So once I decide that I'm going to take an animal, my focus goes to that spot and watching their body language, but specifically to that spot, and then it's time for the actual shot. So whether that's on a wild animal or a target, the process is the same. I'm going to pick that spot and I'm going to hone in as tight as I can to that spot. My shoulders are going to saddle down. I'm going to go up. I'm going to pull back into position. And my focus, a really good example is probably what you're seeing this camera do, because it has an autofocus. I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you can see how blurry my face is right now and how clear my hand is, my hand's shaking, I've drank too much coffee. That's what I'm looking at, and my hand being the 12. I focus like that, everything else is a blur. But I get into my anchors, so middle finger, corner of the mouth, thumb hooked in my ear, and as you see, my back is going to lock my muscles in, and I'm going to push back with my elbow and get into my back tension. Now, from when I get to this point on full draw, just like this, my focus, my brain will hold that sight picture. If you're interested in that kind of thing, please go check out the Push Archery, the Center of Knowledge, the PAC Center. Mr. Tom Clum out in Colorado does a fantastic job explaining this, but my brain will hold that sight picture, and my cognitive focus goes on finishing my shot process. So I'm going to engage the back, I'm going to keep pulling through, I'm going to push that elbow back, and I'm going to follow through to target. And that arrow most of the time is going to go exactly where I'm looking. Don't shoot pigs in a 12 ring. You ain't gonna find them. Thank me later. The last thing I want to say about this video to wrap it up was that was a pretty good day of shooting. Those of you that are just picking up a stick bow, understand that you've got to be realistic with yourself. And a lot of folks want to get on Instagram or Facebook and see these crazy groups or see these arrows touching. They're like, first group at 46 yards. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you that's a lie. Most of the time, that's a lie. Social media is full of that bull crap, and there's keyboard cowboys on there. You'll probably see some in the comments that want to throw this out. I can do this, I can do that. Y'all, I promise, I have shot uncountable rounds of 3D tournaments with IBO world champions, and they can't do that. So some guy that has picked up a bow 2 months ago, he can't do that unless he's a phenom, and he's missing a heck of an opportunity because Team USA is looking for people, I'm sure. So that's my point. My other point is, when you're picking up this and you're trying to learn how to shoot, don't compare yourself to others. Don't go on a line and see somebody dropping dimes and think that you're going to do that just immediately, and then get depressed because your group looks more like a tractor tire than a basketball, and his looks more like a skull can. Don't get depressed by that. Immerse yourself in the process, jump in there, try it. The best advice I can give you is to get a bow, doesn't matter which one. Amazon sells some cheap ones, or you can get a used one in a consignment store or somebody that you know. Get something, get a wad of arrows that are close, and go have fun and try to learn it. Go check out places like the Push. They teach how to shoot. Tom Clum teaches how to shoot. He does a fantastic job. Get out there, make some mistakes, and that's how you learn. Because truth is, I've taken a lot of wild game with a traditional bow. I feel like I'm a pretty decent shot, but it wasn't always that way, and it took a long time to do that. So enjoy that process, and don't try to just be so outcome driven that you're frustrated to the point that you can't do it anymore. Jump out there and try it, and I promise you that if you do that and you approach it that way, it's going to be more fun, and the result in the end is something that you can be proud of. Hope you've enjoyed these kind of things. We're really stepping up the content here at the Stickboys. Make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button, that like button, drop us a comment, follow us on social media as well. Go check out our podcast anywhere you can find podcasts, and be on the lookout where we've got a bunch of merch coming down the pipe with different hats, shirts, things like that. Make sure you go check it out, and as always, get out there, have fun, enjoy it, and if we can ever help, let us know.